Hi guys, my name is Azeezah Hashim, aka the Media Messiah, radio presenter, TV presenter, DJ, corporate and events MC, voiceover artist, and every other thing in between. And I'm super excited because today I'm at the Orange Connect with Maina. I can't wait. My goodness, any excitement to watch how to God damn it.
Welcome. Right across me is the Media Messiah, Azeezah.
Hi.
Welcome to the Orange Connect.
Finally. Yeah.
Tulisema tuongee Kiswahili hapa.
Yeah. Tuanze na Kiswahili.
Tuanze na Kiswahili. Akina ndugu na madada, ndugu na dada pale
kando yangu. My lord.
Nikiangalia mbele hivi ni Azeezah, Media Messiah
mwenyewe.
Anakwamba
Sadakta. Usiwahi kosa kuongezea naam.
Sadakta. Ebu tuanze na dilemmas hapa kunazo. Ebu jitambulishe kiasi kabla tuendelee na huu dondo.
Yo, my lord, I wonder.
How are you?
I'm good. I am so good, and I'm super excited. Yeah. I'm so happy to be here as well, man.
It has been like half a year since we last saw each other.
My lord, unajua mimi nakuonanga kwa movie, televisheni, content creation screen, so you feel like you know someone or you're quite aware of everything they're doing in their lives. Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the Orange Connect. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So let's dance hapa. Tuko na dilemmas that were sent with my audience. So nitakuuliza and then tuwasaidie. And then we get into it.
Love it. Let's go.
Awesome. Let's get into it. So the first dilemma. How do I prioritize self-care and mental health while managing a busy schedule? So obviously this is attuned to what you do.
Yeah.
How do I prioritize self-care and mental health while managing a busy schedule? Before once, I want to know, how long does it take you to just prepare in the morning?
To prepare in the morning, it actually depends. I've mastered doing my makeup in 10 minutes, but makeup for me is therapeutic.
10 minutes?
Yes. I used to do a morning breakfast show. So you have 10 minutes, driver kochini umemwambia 10 minutes, I've just woken up. Yeye ndo ameniamsha. So you have to do everything within that short time span. Okay. So that's the time.
So makeup 10 minutes, showering?
Showering, another 10 minutes.
Dressing up?
Dressing up, to say 3 minutes.
Whoa!
One time.
That's like 23 minutes getting ready.
Yeah. So let's say half an hour for everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does this person prioritize self-care and mental health while managing a busy schedule? I
believe the first couple of minutes that you wake up and it's been proven actually will dictate how your day is going to be. So for me, when I wake up, first thing in naikaga after praying, because when I'm kaga, you're like, thank you God for an amazing day, because you affirm that it is going to be an amazing day. And I'm a firm believer in manifestation. So you manifest a good day. So I listen to affirmations. I am beautiful. I am talented. I am, and it becomes a habit. So I believe that is the first thing you do, because you won't get the time during the day. And if you start it in the morning, as you do your makeup, unenda ukiskiza, I have what it takes. I am affirmed. I am going to have an amazing day. So that's one. In that, by the time unenda ku experience your siku, you're mentally prepared for it. You're mentally in a good space to embrace everything that comes your way. So that's number one.
Okay.
But also during the day, mental health is a journey and it's a habit.
Yeah.
And you have to constantly remind yourself of certain things, because when you operate from an area of positivity, you're able to counter every other thing that happens around you. Because if from within you're good, anything that comes from outside can never harm you. So that is my go-to. In that other say, or matatu akinfanya venya amenifanyia, ama mse wa cab.
It has nothing to do with you.
I'm still very talented. I'm still having an amazing
very
day.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mtanashati mwenyewe.
Jamani.
For ladies ni mrembo
mwenyewe. Jamani.
Mwenyewe.
Umedamshi. Swati nini?
And that was our episode. Tupate pale I think for me is when I read something like this, busy schedule, I always say, put yourself in the schedule.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, wanadhanianga self-care is something that you do after you've done all the important things.
Yes.
But if you think about all the important things that you're doing, Joki Daddy,
Yeah.
they'll still go on.
That's true.
somehow. So putting yourself, me even put haircut in my to-do list.
Yeah.
Read a book, do my skincare. Like I'll put it there so that even when I'm going through the day, I can get 30 minutes
Yeah.
to sort of just do what I need to do. So yeah, there's your answer. I think tumemsaidia huyo.
I hope so.
Yes. Dilemma number 2. How do I handle a friend who constantly takes advantage of my kindness?
I think number 1, because we were actually having that conversation with my cousin on
Right.
our way here, whereby you find that I'll still go back to whatever is internally in you will not be affected by anything around you. Because number 1, you're a kind person, but do you have boundaries? Because that screams lack of boundaries.
How do you create boundaries?
You can create boundaries. And one other thing that I discovered last year, by the way, is creating boundaries is a journey.
Okay.
Or affirming that this is what works for me, this doesn't work for me, is a journey. And when you start the journey, nobody prepares you for how bad it will feel to create a boundary.
Right.
Because it's something you've never done before. And as you say, you're a kind person. So number 1, this has everything to do with you and less to do with them. They are not a kind person. That's why they're taking advantage of you. So can you change them? No. But you can change how you respond to certain things.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. So
And
when you start creating boundaries, when I feel bad, have I done something wrong? I said no. Am I now a bad person? How will they perceive me? So you have to accept that, yes, as you create the boundaries, you're definitely going to feel terrible. But you need to keep on reaffirming that, yes, I love you as a friend, and I think this does not work for me. I feel like you're overstepping when it comes to this. And when they don't accept or respect your boundaries, they definitely were not your friend in the first place, and you don't deserve to have that kind of person around you. Deuces.
I like that. I always call it setting a precedence. You know, it's like, so I have this thing. If I don't want to hug you, I'll give you my hand.
Yeah.
Before we start deciding, like you set the precedence.
I got a hug, so
I mean,
no, the
it's as
result is glow. Mimi
Uko
ni
next
si
level.
acquaintance, mimi ni.
Kwanza nilimpea hug mbili.
Imagine!
Ya kwanza and then nikasema hapana, ya pili. So for me, it's the same thing, creating boundaries. Always set a precedence. I think people naturally just respect, like wanasema, hii usiambie Kevo si wise, you know. Like they just naturally.
And they respect that.
So similarly,
Yes.
set your boundaries. Our last dilemma, should I pursue my passion, even if it means leaving a stable job?
Good question. I did that. My dad hated me for it.
And what job was this?
I
Stable
used to
job?
be a assistant marketing manager for a mobile phone brand. And I left the job during COVID-19 era where people didn't have money to pursue a radio job with no pay.
Yes.
So I had to walk every single day, but I will assure you it pays off.
2019?
Yeah.
Ni juzi tu?
Yeah.
But 2019 is 4 years ago. Damn.
Eh.
It's about 4 or 5 years
Time
ago.
is flying. So yes, you should definitely pursue your passion because you find there's nothing that totally sucks like going to a job every single day just to get a paycheck. You're working for the paycheck in this economy. Everything else absolutely sucks. So do you want Kenya unaenda kufanya every single day in a drain? You won't ever be creative. You won't ever be ignited by anything. You will find faults in every single thing that you do. But your passion, even without money, will still make you feel happy. Nilikuwa natembea from home, natembea to UN, and then your 50 bob imebakia ndo natumia as transport back because ilikuwa like ndo pesa imebakia na ni
You're in the
usiku.
media messiah.
Yeah. So I left the job.
crazy.
My dad was not happy, but right now he sees the point.
Okay. I agree with you. What I'd add is just plan.
Thank you.
Like if you have the stable job, just plan your exit.
Yeah.
Because I think people get lost in the comfort.
Yes.
So unasema, I can't, and you're not planning.
Even when it
So
comes to
plan-
finances,
exactly.
that will last you until your passion pays
Yeah.
off.
So just say I'm giving myself a year. I'll stock as much as I can because utaki tu leave and then you have to pay
Mimi
rent.
nililive tu. But because I was at my parents'
you're at your
place.
parents, exactly. So
Yeah.
if you have a job that's taking care of your bills, please prioritize that, but plan your exit slowly. That means you're at your job on weekdays, but you're working on your stuff on weekends.
Yeah.
Or any other time that you get. So yeah, it's worth it. All right, Azeezah. We're done with the dilemmas. Now let's talk about you.
Oh my God, I never thought you're gonna ask my favorite color is.
Right, what's your favorite color?
It's been a basic small talk or relationship. I think at this point in time, Takwale was saying, to me a PDF. Like, this is
Yeah.
all I like. Get acquainted. Let's get on.
You just tell your ex all the things that you learned about me, create for me a
Niambie.
PDF. Unatumia the next. Please, let's start from here before you go anywhere.
Yeah.
So the first time I met you was at where I currently work.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing you at the office and you were so excited to see me.
Yeah, I was
This
such
was
a
a fun
big fan,
before.
and my mom loves him. Like love in terms of fan love. Yes,
Pen and back.
my lord.
No, as in Nimwambie, thank you for
Oh, okay.
loving the content.
Nitampigia umwambie after
Mom,
this.
hit me up. Hey, hit me up.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I remember meeting you, and I remember all those moments that I was meeting you. There was kuna hii vibe ulikuwa unapea, like you're so, because I was meeting you when you're working at your job.
Yeah.
And working at your job because you are hosting a show, it was more of like following up on what was being worked on.
Yeah.
Essentially, there's an editor working on your show, but I used to see you like following up and just being like, your editor hapo, which is, in my mind, I was like, okay, she's just the host of the show. Why is she so particular? And I just saw it, even the way you appear in the office, very well, well groomed. That was like, how long does it take you to get ready in the morning? Because you're always ready to go.
Thank you.
So, and even before we started recording this, all you have been talking about is your career and what you're planning to do and everything. I'm just curious. You are, can I say your age?
Yes.
You're very young, 24 years old.
Yeah.
What keeps you going? Like, why are you doing all these things? Why are you punching that bag as if you are in your 50s about to retire in the next 5 years? Tell me.
As the great people in the United States of America have always said, I had a dream. Okay, that made a lot of sense in my head. But yes, niko na ndoto
I had a
na-
dream. Martin Luther King.
I think the dream, the goal is much bigger than me. And naturally, I've always been an education-oriented person, whereby I was always a bookworm. And in that kind of setting, unapatanga, the only conversations you used to hear or used to be instilled in you is work hard, go to a national school, finish, get an A, do medicine and whatnot. So I walked the whole journey whereby you work hard, go to a national school, get an A. Inafikia kufanya medicine, I couldn't do it. So I opted for a career that was not necessarily considered successful or for successful people. So I had a lot
That's
to
the
prove.
media?
Yes. Because growing up, we've always been told the only way to be successful is get an A and a uni ukwe daktari, engineer, ama lawyer. That is it. You'd never hear ati work hard ukwe news anchor, ama work hard ukwe DJ, ama work hard ukwe you know,
Social media manager
ukwe
or
actress, ama work
influencer.
hard ukwe influencer. But you find when you go for the non-conventional careers, you have to work twice as hard. So for me, every single person in my circle were going the conventional way. So we'll tread on this path. So you have to prove yourself 10 times as hard to show that, you know what, I'm following my passion, but I have to be the best of the best. So every single day when I wake up, mimi nafikiria e-news, mimi nafikiria BET, na sina
Really?
time.
Is it, I'm just curious, where did you pick that from? And I want to ask you, first of all, how you knew about media was your passion.
Yeah.
But then your drive, because the drive that you have, Azeezah, is so crazy. You can work from 6 to 6.
And I will not get tired.
Exactly.
There's
So-
a day nearly work until 5 a.m. in the morning. We shot overnight and I was working the whole day. So siku ilianza 3 a.m., did a breakfast show, did a shoot, went for another meeting, shot overnight until 5, and I still went for my breakfast show. Lakini after that, nilienda kalala 12 hours.
Nakuonanga two stories nduthi from one meeting to the other, like you have to.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, where did you pick that from? Is it something that maybe if you look at your background growing up,
I think my background also contributed to that because I wasn't privileged to come from a very, very rich background, but I saw my parents working hard for everything that they got. My mom is naturally a hard worker. She is a feminine woman in that ako job, akitoka job, atakuja wapikie na ni pilao, na ni kuna juice, kuna pilipili ya kukaanga, kuna everything, like you'll eat a whole buffet, na bado ametoka job.
Yeah.
And then my dad is the kind of person who came from a very poor background, but he's worked yani ile mbaya. So I've only known people to work so hard, and hard work is the only way to get what you want. So as we work smart, mi najua tu nipige mboka, because I don't have a child, I don't have a pet, I don't have anything else. So what else would I be doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So where did media come from? Where did you know that this is what I want to do? And how did that journey begin for you? Uliambia kwanza ulitoka shule au kumada.
Yeah.
So where did it start?
So for me, I always used to say that I wanted to become a doctor, as I told you.
Why?
Because my dad would be proud of me. You know, I grew up with I'm such a daddy's girl. So every single time nilikuwa nasema nataka kuwa daktari, like I'm my dad's favorite daughter.
How many are you?
We're 3 of us.
Okay.
But mimi ndo sijawahi pigwa. Mimi ni second born. The one that nobody cares about. Kuna first born, kuna last born, wao wana focus sana. Mimi wale my parents don't really care about what I'm doing. They know wako sawa, atajisort tu. She always knows what to do. So yes, kuna ile pride unaona ukiambia mzazi wako I want to be a doctor, and I feel yes, that is my child. So nilikuwa nafanya hivyo because I always wanted my dad to be proud of me because I love him so much. So every time I used to talk about that, he would take so much pride in me. Na mimi nilikuwa wale, I was an extreme introvert. But yeah, so I always wanted to be a doctor. Umeitiwa medicine. Alafu sasa niko hapo, okay, I've been doing this for Mr. Hashim, but I don't think this is for me. Because yezi ataangalia kidonda ya mse, I'm those weishe people. Me, I'll cry with you. So I'm like,
shida yako ni gani?
like akipole, sasa tutafanya.
Ukisurvive aje? Acha nikuitie daktari.
So yeah, inafika your point and I'm like, I really can't do this. But at the back of my mind, I always used to admire media personalities. I always used to listen to Caroline Motoko and I'm like, I want to talk like this. I always used to have an opinion because I used to be in Model UN. I used to be in debate club, Nenda Great Debaters Contest, nini. So at the back of my mind, I knew I loved talking.
Yeah.
But sikuwa nataka kusema cause umetoka Kenya High. Unaambia watu Kenya High unataka kuwa media personality. Are you mad?
At that time when people didn't know what that is.
They
like,
knew, but
it was not like a media personality.
like
like right
unataka
now.
tu kuwa TV presenter. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Na A yako.
Interesting.
So you get a straight A, because I did get a straight A. And we had 142 A's in the country during our year. Ilikuwa the first Matiang'i year.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know what I wanted to do because
that was my year as well.
It was.
Yeah.
So like, come on.
Yeah, first Matiang'i year.
Yeah. So yes, inafika hiyo time and nilikuwanga nimeapply aviation, and then there were things that are happening around our household at that time that couldn't allow us to pay for the aviation.
Right.
So I was like, other than aviation na medicine siwezi fanya, what else can I do?
Oh, so that's where
media came in, where my mom was like, nasi unapendaga kuongea sana. Kila event kukiwa nayo shule, you're the person who would host, or when it comes to making announcements, wewe ndo uko hapo. So my mom was like, you should give this a try. I'll support you. If it works, well and good. If it doesn't work, then ni sawa. But then my dad at that time alikuwa anajua nafanya law. Because I was like, I'm not doing medicine, so I have to tell him at least kitu ina make sense. So first year, University of Nairobi, budangu anajua nafanya law.
But
mimi na mamangu tunajua nafanya medicine.
Fear women.
Yo! Hey, after that, budangu alijam when he got to know.
So how did you find out?
See, sasa later on when it comes to fee structure, kutaka kulipa, so you can only be mjanja up to a certain point. So, nikapatwa. No, Mango ni a very smart woman. Mimi ndo limwangusha hapo. But then yeah, so from there, from first year, what I did I used to see internship opportunities and I go try because I'm like, at the end of the day niko shule, but si feel ni kama nafanya enough kwenda tu shule tu. Like I need to do more. Mimi nilimaliza shule nikiwa nafanya job immediately. Like After nimaliza shule hivi, I had a job the next week.
Was that the marketing?
I used to do online marketing at Strathmore.
Okay.
They had an online tours and travel nini.
Yeah.
Tukafundishwa for 1 week, mnaweza fanya hii job, yes. Mnalipwa 10,000. I was bawling out of control. Wanatubia lunch, alafu wanatulipa 10,000. Alafu unapatiwa cash, imagine.
10,000
Like cash hivi. We used to go with a friend of mine anaitwa Chandra.
Yeah.
Tunaingia matatu za kutoka Madaraka. Yes, alafu tunatoa thao. Wawili please. And yani tulikuwa tunafeel.
Not uitishi change.
No, change lazima tuzitishe ni thao.
Change.
Yeah, ile change ya thao.
Ile change ya thao ilikuwa yangu. Hiyo thao umeshikilia. Hiyo tu hiyo. Si nimekupea sai. Damn, okay.
So hapo ndo media iliingilia. I first applied to a certain online company. At that time hazikuwa developed sana because it was like 2017. So napata when I applied, I was an online content curator. Na nakumbuka hizo times nilikuwa naona wasee superstar wanakuja. Barak Jakuzi alikuwa anafanya kazi huko.
Yeah.
So Barak amekuja na kizungu yake yote. Naenda kuchungulia kwa studio. Guy, these people are so cool.
Yeah.
And then I was Janet Mbugwa's PA for some time.
Yeah. Oh.
So behind the scenes, she's actually the first person who told me I have a good voice and I should try anchoring. I was like, what do you mean? Wewe ni Janet Mbugwa mwenye mimi nilikuwa naona kwa TV.
Yeah.
So that's where media started for me.
Interesting. So the voice.
Yes.
Is it something you trained? Because Azeezah, the first time I talked to you, mkwandania, wajua vile mtu anakuwa TV, like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up, but ukiongelesha personally,
Yeah.
just, hey. But it was the same wording, because you know, kwani tuko na cameras around us. Azeezah, you can chill. Tell me about the voice. Is it something that you actually worked on, or it's just a natural?
It's something that I've always had, but I hated it growing up because growing up you always had friend hizi girl group nini alafu wewe ni katombo. Mimi nilikuwa nacheza futa, sikuwa na kale ka feminine inside. Like nilikuwa nacheza futa, kutembea nilikuwa natembea, yeah, some say like
Oh, really?
I was always a tomboy. So my friends used to make fun of me. Like unaona vile mnakuanga kwa girl group, kuna hizi backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
Ama vitu mtu atasema that are insults but zimefunikwa vizuri, wameweka katasfida vizuri, ka euphemism vizuri. Yeah, so I always used to hate it, and even during my first auditions, I listened back. My first audition was for, I think, Capital One. Nilikuwa nataka kusound kadem. Like unaona, hi guys, so you know we've, and then no mwana ko. So it's something that's always been there, but I do practice a lot because intonation, the highs, the lows, and doing radio, it's a theater of the mind. So trying to listen to other people with deep baritones as well, who are feminine, kuonam, how do I make myself better? So I practice, but the voice comes naturally.
Interesting. So where was the change? And you ukasema, I have to embrace this and just, is that something that you were told, like, man, you have a dope voice, ama?
I used to hear it, but nilikuwa na I used to hear it from people who are my family.
Okay.
So I'm like, nyi mnanishow tu ndo. Because my aunt alikuwa ananiambia, ongea na hiyo base yako, tunajua uko na base. So I'm like, unaniambia niko na base juu ya what? Yo, so when I applied, is it okay if I mention a TV brand, conflicts of interest?
Yeah.
So when I applied for Ebru, they were looking for TV hosts.
Okay.
So for a show yenye ilikuwa na 8 hosts. So hapo I met the best people I ever met in my life. Like we're friends to date. Like you're 8 hosts in a show. You know mnaweza kuwa na competition mingi sana.
Yeah.
But there I learned to turn take. There I learned to be myself. Because they're my friends now. So my friends were like, twende nayo. Ndo Azeezah, msewa radio, ndo nini. So that's confidence. So from episode 1, episode 2, then my bosses were like, undia mwana kuna sauti poa. Mwache afanye screen test ya news. So I'm like, are you guys serious?
You
serious?
serious?
Then I do the screen test. I've never seen a teleprompter in my life. So that's the first time naiona. I was, hiyo shule yenye niko uni, atujai kuwa na hizo vitu. Unakutana na wasi wakina Daystar kina nini. Oh, that's the auto cue. So, okay, let's go. So me, I'm like, ni hapo ndo nasoma. Hizo words zenye zinakam. Yeah. So that was where the confidence came in. The fact that someone can make you at 21 host, like anchor 1 p.m. news, 9 p.m. news, and host a political show. That was where the confidence ya kutumia sauti yangu ilikuja.
Interesting. So when you look back, because you've mentioned the Ebru TV, what was that moment you feel like everything just started working out?
When I got into Ebru. Because before that nilikuwa nimefanya free gigs, free nani probo,
Hata
kila
ulilipwa na
kitu
exposure?
we
Oh, yeah?
exposure 3 years, exposure ya events, exposure ya voiceover. Kuna msi alinitokanga an auto attendant job ile yenye msi anaona kuna sauti poa na kadem kajui wathi yake, so akanilipanga 10k ya amelipwa so mbili, alafu siku hizi namuonanga kwa events wallahi, but nilikuwa sijui.
Yeah,
So for
ilikuwa.
3 years niliwork pro bono, not in one place but different places. Unaenda online station wanafunga, unaenda ingine wanafunga, unaenda ingine wanafunga, until sasa vile nilifika Ibru, the first job yenye nalipwa for media, not for anything else. I was doing marketing before, but for media mnanilipa. That was where everything ilifunguka.
So how are you balancing school and work?
That's where I dropped out.
Oh, okay. Hey, there you have it.
I was working 6 days a week. You're working from 8 a.m. Unaweza jikuta umewaka mpaka past 9 because maybe you're anchoring 9 p.m. news na uliingia job mapema. Because at Ibru, it was the best place to learn, and the best anchors and the best media personalities walianzia Ibru, whereby you could be, I was a host hosting now a show called Chit Chat on Saturdays. You host Wanane. I was anchoring news. Yes, I was anchoring news. I was reporting, whereby unatoka bado unaenda unakuwa reporter kwa ground. I used to have a mid-breakfast show whereby kuna politics na lifestyle every Monday to Friday. Alafu bado unafanya directing ama vitu zingine on the side, and then now I got into energy nikiwa huko. So you can imagine your day starts at 3, unatoka unaenda job huku kwingine. By the time day yako inaanza, I had no time for school. So 6 days a week.
How do people drop out? I've always had people saying that they dropped out.
I just didn't show up.
Unachatuku.
Niliacha kushow up. Walinitafuta wanipati.
For real?
Yo.
You just
never showed up. And then my parents always keep asking, by the uliamua aje na shule?
going back to school?
But I am going back finally.
You're going back this year?
Yes.
Doing media?
I'm doing media to complete my degree. Because nilimaliza mpaka 4th year. Nimebakisha 1 unit na project pekee.
Interesting.
That has kept me away from university for 2 years.
Yani one project. Tuambie tu kweli Azeezah.
Wallahi billahi.
Tuambie uko second year bado.
Wallahi billahi nimebakisha creative writing pekee.
So what we are saying, next year time like now you might be graduating.
This mwisho this year.
Mwisho this year. You had it here first.
And I'm doing another thing that I don't want to talk about, but will shock you. He knows, but sijawa show bado.
Yeah, I know, but I have to pretend like I don't. Wow. You'll tell me about that. You'll tell me about that. So, Azeezah, when I look at your social media, it's just high-flying moments. Like, you are so well packaged. And I asked you this before about whether you have like a team management. And our team is so tiny. You're literally here with her cousin, aka her PA, which is crazy. But it's interesting to see how your mind, just flows with everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
You are at a high moment right now, but you're speaking about how last year was just difficult for you. And I just want to get into that. You can give us to the extent of what you want to share, but then how is it that you've struggled through all these times, you're at a high-flying moment. How do you navigate those moments where either you're shortchanged, you slipped up, or you're disrespected? How is that? Tell me about last year.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we're talking about this, because prior to this conversation, we're talking about the way all the people that you look up to always share how difficult the journey was climbing to the top. But once you're at the top, or when you're nearing the top, nobody tells you that there'll still be challenges ukiwa hapo. Unaonanga ukishafika ni kaa cartoon, happily ever after. But what after the prince and the princess get married?
Because no one is sharing how they're navigating the top. It's like when you get to a certain level, it's gatekeeping now. It's like you have no people you can reach out to. You're also to a point where, I don't know if you feel this, but personally I'm always like, and it's something that I have to always remind myself that I'm still learning. Because you get to a point where you feel like, okay, no one else is doing what I'm doing. I'm doing it at quote unquote the highest level. So there's no one I can ask about what I'm doing.
Or even the ones you can ask wouldn't be generous with information.
Because you're also their competition.
That's true. Because sasa, okay, ukiwa hapo ulikuwa unakaa unapanda, but sasa umefika, do you want to come after my job? So for me, I don't know, msizakifanyanga hivyo unaonaga pia wako na hizo vitu, so you're like, okay, are you trying to tell me?
Uko sawa. Nini hata na doubt.
So as I was saying, last year was a year when I encountered my biggest wins and the most life-changing points in my career that I'm utterly grateful for. But I also encountered the biggest losses, or the biggest. I went into depression and ile kabisa kabisa. That's why I even started a foundation yenye we could just talk about mental health, whereby niku hard huku nje.
Yeah.
Unaweza-
Was it was overwhelming?
it was too overwhelming. And then I'm not the kind of person who loves opening up sana. When I'm going through stuff, hata my cousin stroke PA will tell you that mi ujifungia. Tanpigia simu, stashika. Utaniweza kaa niko home, stajibu.
Yeah.
Because I just want to deal with everything myself. So when last year ilianza, it was bad from the start.
Oh, yeah?
Whereby I'd come from a very high December in 2022, whereby there were so many wins. But as I was winning, as I was booked and busy, I was not negotiating for myself well. Whereby there were no contracts involved. Umefanya gigs uko like, January pesa ndo inaingia sasa. Unajua unaambiwanga ule msee wa finance ameenda.
Yeah, they're working it on finance.
Yeah,
Tutumie
so
invoice.
by January msee wa finance atakuwa amerudi. Alafu sasa tutasort everyone.
Yeah.
So most of the gigs that I did in 2022 December, pesa ilikunywa maji. So when you start in January, you're like, what? Alafu ndo hiyo mshande imechelewa.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy. So yes, you were thinking about having a good year. And for me, I love writing vision boards na vitu kama hizo. But as the year kept on going by, I was really encountering challenge after challenge. I was questioning whether this was what I wanted to continue doing.
In terms of the media?
Yeah. So the only high that really reaffirmed, there were different things happening whereby I was doing gigs that I never saw myself doing before,
Right,
like
right.
hosting for the ministry, hosting international delegates, and like the head of state. So that was a high, but then despite the highs going on, unapata huku chini ya maji, kuna tu vitu tu tuna happen.
Yeah,
But there were
pulling it.
lessons in that. I had to figure out how to work professionally with people. When you enter into an agreement, regardless of how good you think somebody is, there needs to be a contract involved. When it comes to your own team, who are you putting around you? Even in relationships, who are you associating yourself with? I never talk about relationships because I prefer the focus to be on my work, but pia to paint it, pia kilikuwa kinanilik mbaya.
Oh, kilikuwa kinaku-
Kwenye relationships, yani unaniacha mimi. Are you serious?
Azeezah aliachwa?
Yo,
my boy.
ni kumoto manze.
Yeah?
Mse aliamka 5 am akaniambia.
Were you the toxic one? Wait, ati aliamka 5 a.m.
Aliniamsha 5 am kuniambia tumeachana.
on a phone call?
Yeah. And then later
So
ako
how
like,
was that? Just paint a picture, Azeezah.
nimeamka, unajua
So
you
unaona
think
simu ina ring.
I was sleeping.
So
nimekaa nalala. Punde si punde nasikia call kutoka kwa baby. Niko like, baby
baby
wangu.
wangu.
And I go through the most, does my baby miss me at this time?
At 5 a.m. You can't stop thinking about me.
Jamani, you're too much. So nashika simu ako like, so we need to talk. The worst thing
5
to hear
a.m.
in a relationship is we need to talk. Usingizi ina disappear kwa much.
5 a.m.
Completely.
Na kuna breakfast show.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sikurudi kulala, niliamka tu nikasema okay sawa, hii ni alarm, hata nilikuwa nimechelewa. So let me just, no, I wasn't doing breakfast at the time.
Okay.
Nilikuwa nishaenda mid morning.
Okay.
So between
yeah, you
5 and
changed it.
11 before your show starts, uko tu. We?
So how did he tell you?
Sips
It's
drinks.
like, need to talk.
Yeah, we talked. And akaniambia it's not working out, blah, 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 a lot of nonsense. Na ikaisha hivyo. And then sasa naamka saa 6 ananiambia, by the way, I didn't mean it nini. Nikamwambia by saa 6 mimi nime-move on, bro.
Ati by the way, didn't mean it?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry, nini. I was just, you know.
Guys, man.
Doses.
Alikuwa anangoja umfightie.
Nampigania kwa nini.
Ungemreassure.
Back then, men used to go for war and fight with, yes.
Ungemreassure, ungemwambia, baby, let's talk about this.
Mimi ni wale ukiniambia tumeachana, by that tumeachana. Yeah, so you're experiencing, like say you're una do umeachwa. How worse can it get?
Yeah.
Una audition for gigs, ama unatuma proposal, unaambiwa no's. But then after some time now, the call from Citizen came in, whereby we want you to come and audition. Because nilikuanga nimeona, yes, Bazo resign nini. I can't wait to see who they pick. It must be. I even had a few people.
You
I'm
didn't
like,
send a proposal or?
no. I didn't even know anyone.
Okay.
Or rather, sikuwa nimeulizia, I wasn't even interested.
Yeah.
Because for me, because Amina is like a mentor and a big sister for me, toka niingie, I was like, Amina may want to do the trend. So alikuwa like,
so that was your focus.
Yeah, that was my focus. Ukitoka teen, ufanye the trend, and life is just realistic. So for me, 10 over 10 was such a big nani. I'm like, now inakaa kuwa huyu. You even think of who are the likely people to get the gig. So we had to audition for 1.5 months, whereby you're grilled for different things. Do a screen test, physical interview. They even look at your educational background. Karibu ni disqualify you kwa sababu ya uni.
Yeah, graduation.
Yeah, because education is also very important. Like they look at the wholesome, because Citizen is a very serious employer. When you think about the biggest brands in the country, you think about a bank, you think about a mobile service provider, and then when you think about media, it goes without saying.
Yeah.
They are very serious. So I was like, huh? Okay. So yes, thank you for noticing me, but then najua tu stageti job.
Yeah.
Kuna watu wanakatu kupata hii job. So getting into Citizen, but pia the transition time, leaving my 2 contracts and getting into Citizen was the most difficult phase of my life.
To us, was that as easy as it looked? Because you just dropped everything.
It actually didn't happen at that time. So napata, it took me quite a while. Like, you have the job, but pia tunakuweka, we want to see your discipline. And we want to see if you're, during the waiting season, character yako iko aje.
So how long did it take when you knew and when you officially announced?
2 months.
Because pia there were guest hosts.
2 months.
Damn.
Za kukaa. Na sasa usha resign.
Na unanyamaza.
Na unanyamaza. So discipline also matters. So during your transition period, because financially I hadn't planned myself well, so it was not a very easy period. Yeah, from leaving your jobs. And there are contractual agreements that I wouldn't want to get into, but that was also a very difficult season in my life, whereby Mungu anakuwekanga before your waiting season, ndo inakuanga the most trying season of your life, whereby you've quit a job, you're going to ask for an MCing gig. So watu wako like, okay, hakuna benefit tunapata kutoka kwako, so tunakupatia MCing gig juu ya nini?
Oh, because you don't have a show now.
Yeah, auko TV, auko radio, so uko na value gani kwetu? Hapo ndo uko like, what? He, sawa. Simliniambia niko na sauti hiyo isaidi.
It's not helping.
We don't care about that.
Karibu acha ni audition. Let me just see your dinner or lunch. You see
Alafu
how I'm doing.
mniambie, like yes, we'll call you, don't call us. Na ulipanga unasikia hizo conversations ukianza. Sasa sianzi, nimeshawa show. It's not my first event hosting. So it was a very difficult stage in my life. And then now finally getting to do the biggest show in the country in terms of ratings. When I tell you Citizen is mighty, I don't know.
Yeah.
Unaangalia hiyo team ya watu for just one show.
It's crazy.
Like there are over 30 people.
30 people handling.
Like it's like in a kanikama event,
like
every
event
single
every
night
single
there's a
Friday.
stage manager, there's someone handling the audience, there are 2 directors, there are 3 producers, there are so many people contributing to the success of one show.
Yeah.
So yes, hiyo period pia kuingia. Once nimeingia ilikuwa like, yes, God, nyote venye mlisema nilikuwa sina kazi na mnipe event. Why I say now?
Now the calls start coming in.
They did.
Oh.
I thought the calls were going to come in the moment sasa tumekuona hapo.
Interesting.
But nobody prepares you for when you're at your highest, but nobody cares. Or maybe they're still giving you time.
You're humbled that you're
like nimeonesha nezaanza na DJ sasa, mi pia ni host, like amuoni hizi vitu zote wako like
variety sahi.
Not yet.
Interesting.
So December was also one of the most difficult months of my life. I got the biggest no's. I had, Oshana, even in your team internally, we've always had such a good relationship because for me, my team is my family. They're my friends. They're people I can call up for anything. We know each other inside out. It's more than just work.
Right.
So even during that time, you're encountering conflicts here, uko uko. So it is just confusion, left, right, and center. And you're like, can this year just end? So in January, thankful to God, yani nika mwaka ilianza hivi, everything changed. All the calls that I wanted, all the brands that
Started
I
happening.
never, yani unapata calls sahi from brands that you never, ever, ever thought that would ever even approach you.
Yeah.
Like the international things planned out are crazy. But one other thing is that when I was going through my most difficult year, I documented everything.
What do you mean?
From January to December, all the events I did behind
Oh,
the
right,
scenes,
right,
nini. So I want to put that out in terms
And
of
those-
mini
exactly.
docu-series to show people the highs, lows, the whole transition period.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I also think, you know, when the year starts,
Yeah.
you have credibility that you've built over the past. So
Yeah.
a lot of companies are doing their budgets right now, so it's easy to.
Yeah, I never knew that. Mi nilikuwa nangoja
Oh.
December ndo inakuanga bumper to bumper concert
Si kama
events, pesa
kama
twende.
wajakupangia December in September,
Yeah.
itabidi ungoje kiasi.
Eh.
So yeah, that's how it works. So this might sound like a cliche question, but as we wrap this up, are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Like with
Right now?
everything that is happening, yeah.
Right now,
in
I
your
am
life.
so happy. Like, I think I am at the most. Si ati nimefika penye nataka kufika, because for me the goal is Hollywood, it's BET, it's E-News, and hata kama sijafika hapo, I'm
I
at a
like that
point
you
in
talk
my
about
life.
that so confidently.
Yeah, like
know?
everyone else wants to go to kina CNN, kina BBC.
Yeah.
That is not the goal for me. If it comes, we might consider, but it is a journey to the end,
Yeah.
whereby for me, I'm an entertainment girl. I can do news, ama hizi vitu zingine serious, but I love entertainment.
Entertainment, yeah.
The kina Trevor Noahs kama waliweza kufika hapo. That is my inspiration, to be there and succeed there. Because I know they don't have what I have to offer.
Yeah.
So I am ready to come and fill in that slot that has been put there specifically for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it. So if you're to tell your younger self,
Yeah.
the girl who was always worried about where you are today,
Yeah.
what would you tell her?
Yo. I think that girl was damaged. She was not strong emotionally. She was going through a lot of imposter syndrome. I'm currently still working on it. You go to rooms and you're like, do I deserve to be here? So I'd want to tell you that you're enough. You are more than enough. You do not need validation from anyone else. You don't need anyone to tell you you're beautiful. You don't need anyone to tell you you're talented. You don't need anyone to tell you that you've got what it takes. You do have what it takes. And it's not going to get easier as you go up, but you are going to get so much stronger. You will not believe it. You're going to cry at times, and it's okay to cry, but you still got it, Kabisa. You're a fighter. You are, everything you're doing right now is going to pay off. You might feel like hakuna kitu inaenda mahali, but
Yeah. But things are working.
things are going to work out. And from this side, it is good. And it's only getting so much better. So keep on putting in the work.
Yeah.
Keep on believing in yourself. And don't let any single person talk you out of what you want so bad.
And drop out. Apparently it's worth it.
No. Girl, go back to school.
Si utarudi shule, but
Yo.
drop out. It worked eventually. All right, Media Messiah. Why Media Messiah?
Very interesting. So when you think about soccer, what do they call Messi?
The Soccer Messiah?
Yes. So when you think about media in Africa, my goal is to be the biggest media personality
like
that's the
everyone
creme
looks
de la
up to.
creme. And then, pia for my mini docu-series, I've called it Becoming the Media Messiah, whereby it's an affirmation. Every single day, I live up to the name. So, tukifika Hollywood,
It's also a
it
mantra.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereby when you wake up in the morning and your friends are calling you, "Beda Media Messiah, niko na kushow, uko na silali jamani, mmeniita nini? Media Messiah wewe."
Say it again.
Amka,
Yeah.
piga kazi.
Okay.
And to also show, because most of the time when you think about media personalities in Kenya, all the people that I look up to or looked up to growing up, well, if you are only up to a certain point.
Yeah.
What after that? tunafikanga mmetuonesha okay tunaweza fanya MCing corporates concerts nini ukishafika radio
Then
TV
it's a
alafu
plateau.
mnapotea.
Yeah.
What after that?
Yeah.
So my goal is to become the blueprint when it comes to what media is. For me, it has taken me quite a while. I've walked the longer route.
Yeah.
I've done the dirty work. I have not taken any shortcuts. None at all. As a lady, if you're pretty, there's so many things you can actually do to get a job, but I prefer to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
I will not sell myself to get
go through the
opportunities.
process. Yeah.
I'd rather uniambie no, niende ni make sure nitakuprove wrong, utanitafuta mwenyewe na utanitafuta the right way. So my goal is to be the blueprints in the media industry and show people how good it can get when you do the work the right way.
There you have it from the media messiah.
Kwani hii conversation imeisha live?
Imagine
Na ndo
ikiisha,
nilikuwa naanza jamani.
Oh, ulikuwa unaanza? Unataka kutuambia about una date ama?
Hapo sasa my lord. Me one thing by that.
It's Valentine's actually. It's dropping around Valentine's.
Me one thing about me, amtaijua kani kuna mtu sina mtu
Mimi
nafanya
najua
nini.
guys. I can tell. Naweza kuangalia hivi. I can tell.
Nakakua.
Vile una glow. Kuna mtu.
Kuna mtu ananiangalia vizuri. Kuna mtoto wa mtu ananichanganya.
Kuna mtu.
Yeah. But me one thing I prefer to keep my personal life very private.
Oh, yeah?
Like wacha focus ikwe kwa kazi.
So you go, would you go for someone who's a creative and in the industry?
No,
Or
never. Nishafanya, never again.
so a doctor? Basically.
Not necessarily, but someone who's not in the media industry.
Someone
No.
who's low key. Private account.
Thank
probably
you.
not even on IG.
Thank you. Si ati naenda naona liked by and many others. Na uko hapo kwa comment section na my love heart.
There goes my chance, guys. I was just trying. There goes my chance. Just subscribe to the.
Let us know if you think this would be a good celebrity power couple. Tujue
yo.
kama tunaweza Beyonce, Jay-Z on this, you know.
Tell us. Give me
Unaonaje?
this. Give me
Lakini
this chance.
hii relationship tutakuwa tunaongeaje? Ushaona zile videos za news anchor wote. So babe, what do you say?
We'll be right back at you. That's the camera I'm on. We'll practice and then we'll get.
Hizi phone
we
call
just need to
conversations
practice.
zinaweza kuwa mwenda.
Yeah, we just need to
Wallahi.
practice.
Hebu ongelesha.
Back at you, Media Messiah. I love you, Media Messiah.
Love you too, Maina mind.
Hey, stranger.
Hi.
Hey, itakuwa fiti sana.
My
We can
lord.
work it out.
I wonder.
Awesome. Guys, thank you for coming through. I'm so grateful. There's a lot we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yo tumemaliza.
Too much.
Yes, too much we can
Na
talk about.
unakuangaje bedha? Uko poa? Sikukuuliza.
Me, I'm good.
Kila kitu iko fresh.
I'm very
I'm so
happy.
proud of you.
I'm
so
happy
happy
to be
for
here.
you.
Thank you.
You are killing it.
I'm trying.
Endelea kuwakunywa ukunje.
Hey, all of them.
You have worked hard for everything that you do. One thing people don't know is even behind the scenes, other than being on TikTok and kukunywa mademu kunje, hiyo piga mboka mbaya. And I'm proud of you.
Sana. That's what I knew. Like I could feel the
Akiwa
work ethic
like,
and I was like,
God damn it, zimeni kamera
there's something here. All right, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Happy Valentine's. I think it's dropping on Valentine's. Happy Valentine's. All right, bye.